they've got it at Signs and Ship. The best thing about them, too, is each of their locations, whether it's the home base here in Elyria, Ohio that I work with, or their spots in Virginia, Florida, and Pennsylvania, it's all local sourced. Very important to me because we all understand that small business is the lifeblood of the community. So check them out, signsandship.com, or call Chris and Pam today, 440-323-6060, the home office in Elyria, Ohio. Signs and Ship, quality printing at affordable prices.
Hi, this is Joe Tate, and you're listening to the Sports Fix.
Whether it's an oil change or a new set of tires, Quick Lane at Valley Ford Truck has you covered for your automotive car care needs. They're your neighborhood quick service experts. They also offer a low price tire guarantee. Choose from 13 brands, and if you find the same tires at a lower price within 30 days, Quick Lane at Valley Ford will refund the difference. They're open late Monday through Thursday until 9 p.m. and open early Saturday so you can check it off your to-do list and get on with your day. They also have a newly remodeled service lounge and additional service bay just for Quick Lane oil changes. Quick Lane at Valley Ford Truck is located at 5715 Canal Road, right under the 480 Bridge in Valley View, just down the road from Independence. 5715 Canal Road, right under the 480 Bridge in Valley View, just down the road from Independence. Come see why life is better in the Quick Lane. QuickLane.com/Valley Ford Truck. That's QuickLane.com/Valley Ford Truck. Business owners and professionals, do you want to take your business, your product, your team, your event to the next level? You want to advertise right here with the Sports Fix. Our listeners are among the most loyal listeners, terrestrial or internet. The Sports Fix universe is not only the radio show, but tens of thousands of fans on Facebook and Twitter. Email me, Jerry Myers, thesportsfix@AOL.com. That's thesportsfix@AOL.com. And let me help you swing for the fences and hit it out of the park right here on the Sports Fix.
Portions of the Sports Fix brought to you by Harry Buffalo. Harry Buffalo, join the herd.
News break.
Good morning, I'm Bob Picozzi. He was at the eye of the storm last year when he was accused of bullying Dolphins teammate Jonathan Martin. Guard Richie Incognito has now been cleared by the NFL to return. According to ESPN's Adam Schefter, sources indicate as many as 5 teams are interested in signing him. The Broncos have no idea when wide receiver Wes Welker will return. Following a third concussion in 10 months, Coach John Fox says 1 step at a time.
We just say it one day at a time. I mean, I say that all the time. I know it's coach speak, but it's truly the truth. So, we'll see how he gets through today, and I'll get updated every day medically on every player, including Wes in this case. So we'll see what tomorrow brings.
In his first season in Denver, Welker had 73 catches for 778 yards last year. The San Francisco Giants have sent struggling Tim Lincecum to the bullpen. Two-time Cy Young Award winner will be replaced in the rotation by Yusmeiro Petit. Roger Federer begins his quest for his 6th U.S. Open title tonight when the number 2 seed meets Marinko Matasevic. Play begins in Flushing Meadows in 1 hour. Live coverage starts at 1 o'clock Eastern Time on ESPN.
Subway is serving up a steak, egg white, and cheese flatbread breakfast sandwich to get your day moving. Have tender steak blanketed with melty cheese, all on toasted flatbread, or try it on any of your favorite freshly baked breads. Subway. Eat fresh.
You're listening to the Sports Fix.
Welcome back to Hour 2 of the Sports. Man, I swear I dare the fade to go smooth. There we go. Welcome back to Hour 2 of the Sports Fix. J-Rock back with you, rocking and rolling on the Sports Fix Radio Network. Just a moment from now, my man, Dr. Football Bill Chachkes in the house, as he is each and every Tuesday. And what do you know? I'll put the curse of the short show on us again, man. There's not a chance in the world we're getting out of here any less than 2 hours. See, I shouldn't even have bothered with that whole 2.5-minute spiel at the beginning of the show because it doesn't matter anyway. But anyways, welcome back in. Phone lines aren't open right now. Right now, because Doc Football's here. You can hit us up on Facebook and Twitter and email. Facebook.com/TheSportsFix. Tweet with us at TheSportsFix, CLE. Email us, TheSportsFix@AOL.com. We're going to talk some football here, the latest going on, and not just with the Browns. We'll get into some of that, but just around the NFL. I'll tell you, if you guys haven't seen, I want to talk with Bill some of this about the Sean Gilbert looking to challenge perhaps DeMaurice Smith here and make some changes. I was kind of saying before the break, man. I mean, the most violent, the most physically affected as far as what the ramifications to your body are and all of that. The worst of all the sports when it comes, well, I mean, hockey's right up there too, but clearly the most physically grueling of all the sports has perhaps the weakest and most joke union. I'm sorry. I mean, we joke about these CBA deals with suspensions, but come on. Any league that is, you got baseball players who, no offense, man, I'm not saying, look, there are high-level athletes in baseball, but not every baseball player is a high-level athlete. None of them take a physical risk. Yes, they all get hurt, and I'm not saying that, of course, but it's a big difference, you know. When you get a rib injury in baseball, you pull an oblique while you're swinging a bat. When you get a rib injury in football, your ribs were probably broken while somebody smashed into you with a helmet and shoulder pads. My point is they've got the weakest protections. They get no guaranteed money. That's the biggest joke, is a baseball player can sign a contract and get a hangnail tomorrow and miss the season, and he's getting paid every penny of that $10 million that he was owed. Football player does the same thing, and he's looking for a job, and he doesn't have a dime of his money because somehow they signed a guy to a $100 million contract and guaranteed him $3.75. You know, it's the only league in the world that can live like that, and it's the most physically abusive, and it speaks to their union getting broken. They had two different groups of people several times split in the union, and instead of sticking together, they were broken by the owners each time, and this is what you get. Meanwhile, baseball was willing to miss seasons if they had to, and they dealt with the public relations, but they ended up with what they wanted, and they ended up with what they've got, which is the most rock-solid, not union, I don't even like that term, players association in all of sports. Like I said, they get guaranteed money just to show up and get the check from the mailbox. They get a check just for that. That's how good their union is. So let's talk about some of that, because Sean Gilbert wants to change that. We'll talk about that. The Browns, meanwhile, Josh Gordon still doesn't know if he's playing football or not. We'll talk about it with Dr. Football right now, so let's go to the phones. Bill, how you doing, my man?
Jerry, how you doing? And let me tell you, LG's a tough act to follow, man.
Yeah, he is. Hey, man, he's passionate, and so am I, man. And,
no, he's right, and I understand where he's coming from, and you know, I see where his point is. Unfortunately, you know, that's not 90% of the other fans in sports, and you know, we're at a time in our lives where, you know, let's not slice our wrist and you know, bleed a pint of blood just for the sake that it's there. You know, the season hasn't started yet. We got to give it time to mature, or he would say, you got to give it time to fester.
But I mean, it's just I get that, and you know what? I'm kind of at a flashpoint by being the main contact here with the show. We get it. I'm the guy that runs all the social media, so I get all the messages. Like, what I mean is I'm kind of like a direct post office from all the different stuff I get in and out. So I'm able to hear from so many different people, and it's awesome. But like, it's that certain mentality, just even if it's not being real, because I can be real and in the years that the Browns shouldn't win any games, be like, man, this is maybe the worst football team I've ever seen in my life. But I got there by the natural progression of how I got there. I mean, nobody is sitting. I'm not sitting here in week 3 of the preseason going, man, these guys are ready for the playoffs, man. No, I'm sitting here very realistic to what we're about to go through. You know, like, I understand that this is going to be an up and down season. This is going to be let's see what they can. And that's why I keep telling guys, let's see if this team gets better from week 1 to week 18. I'm used to saying 16 to week 18, or worse, because that's a huge thing to watch. That's where you'll know if you've got the right coaching staff working with these guys. It's not just by the wins and losses. We see where they're at now. Are they better in week 4? Are they better in week 8? And are they better yet by week 16, or game 16? That's something that's still to be seen. So, I know that I have to do this every day. So part of my mindset is I have to I don't want to say wipe the slate clean, but you can't wake up every day miserable to the point that people don't want to be around you. People don't want to talk to you about it. People, like, you're that guy. People know that as soon as you open your mouth, they know exactly what you're going to say. Because my thought is life is short. I mean, seriously, man, you may not be here tomorrow. Like, you want to spend all of your time that miserable about something when you could just not watch it? You could just watch something else if you're a sports guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, yep. That's what I mean. It's not being real. It's being miserable to the point that it's just you can't let yourself get like that. And especially before it's gotten there. I mean, if it hasn't even gotten ugly yet and you're already there now in the preseason, you're going to be that guy by the end of the season. And life is just too short, man. Get mad, get angry, make a phone call, tell me you want the team to do better. But, I mean, you can't live it. You can't dwell in it. You can't fester in it,
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. And, there I have to tell you, though, Jerry, there were a lot of teams I could point back to in history that did a whole lot worse than Cleveland could possibly do this year. People should give it a chance. It may not be 6 or 7 wins. It may wind up being 9 wins. There could be breaks here and there. You never know. I'm not going to go out on a limb like I did last year and say they're a 10-6 team. They're obviously not. But they're not a 6-10 team either, unless Pettin really is, not the coach that we think he is. And let's not use a Dennis Green vernacular here. He is who we think he is.
Right, absolutely. We're going to get to learn about him, but even the football season or baseball or basketball, I'm using football because that's the topic we're on now. Whatever your sport is, think about your regular life. Think about your kids. If you have kids, when they go to school, think of yourself when you went to school. You obviously have learned a ton by the end of the school year than what you didn't know when the school year started. I mean, same thing with whether it's sports or whether it's your job. I mean, unless you have a job where you don't care, where you just show up every day, do the exact same thing and go home, and there's absolutely no learning curve, you don't care, you're just showing up, punching a clock, and going home. If you have a job where you're aspiring and you're looking to, whether it's go to a different level, a different job, a different pay scale, whatever, you get better as you go. That's the whole point of looking at your resume and going, man, a heck of a lot better than I was 2 years ago. Look at all these things that I did. Same thing with a football season. I'm just saying, and I'm not just referring to the Browns, but in general, look at baseball. I mean, baseball fans will love to tell you, and it's funny, you can tell the difference between the day-to-day fans and the general fans, because the general fans, every day the season's over, they're the worst team that you've ever seen. They forget that there's 140 more of these things to go, and so, all the people that wrote off the Indian season in June, they're still in it here. So to baseball fans, they're going, it's so many different mindsets, and we see it here in Cleveland, and I stick to what I say. You're a fan. You can get as frustrated as you want. I mean, you can be miserable if you want, but I still stick to the axiom that bad sports talk, where they just constantly stir the miserableness, and they don't program well, and what they talk about is limited. To me, that creates bad sports fans, because you're a reflection of the environment that you live in every day. And so it's those people that are on the radio, and it's ridiculous, man,
That's the difference, Jerry, between, what we do and what the big boys do, because you're not Mike Francesa, and thank God. You're not Chris Russo, and thank God for that. You have a little more going for you than those guys, because although they're making the big money, they don't love it like you do. That's the big difference, and that's why I enjoy working with you all these years, because you have people that, they just go through their day, and their whole job in this business is set up to take pot shots at whoever they're covering, and that's not you.
I mean, one of the best ways I could explain my philosophy, people say, oh man, you get into this because you love it. Oh yeah, I loved listening to sports talk. It was my dad's thing when I was younger, but
it wasn't just that. And I mean, this is going to sound, I'm not in any way trying to blow this up into anything more than it's just a general statement that's true. One of the biggest reasons that I zeroed in on sports talk when I got into doing broadcasting, music, I do all kinds of different